A very good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome back to another reaction video. And before I start, let me ask a very simple question. Is Marwa's family losing its control in the village, or is it that the content creators and the villagers are waking up? Yesterday, Nation One came on camera and said a lot of things. I myself, I did a reaction about that, and the same yesterday, Gintu was one-on-one with Peris on camera. Years back, Peris was the PA to Marwa. At one point, nobody in Marwa's camp could be seen next to Gintu or near Gintu. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this clip of Gintu and Paris, then we dive deep into today's discussion.
We are back again. I have Mrs. Peris. Hi, Peris.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Everything so meticulous?
First of all, apologize.
We are here. We are back.
No, first apologize.
To a woman?
Yeah.
How is it possible?
When you can apologize to a woman?
No, in our culture, we don't do that.
Like, seriously?
Exactly.
Okay, what if you wrong a person that you can apologize to that person?
You negotiate and come to the thoughts together.
So, but you can't say sorry.
For what? What happened?
You know what you did to me?
We apologize to each other.
No, I mean, I didn't wrong you. I didn't wrong you in any way. Did I wrong you?
Do you understand, Paris, when I came for the first recruitment as a member of Fishpond guy? Do you know what happened? You can never recall.
Remind me.
You can never recall.
So remind me if I
wrong. No,
I wronged, I apologize.
Do you understand the time that you are having a very tall hair? It was reaching out to the bam bam behind. And you are looking so meticulous. And I was talking about TV. This is how YouTube people are getting in. By the way, YouTube is so meticulous. I'm gonna be getting it because of you. And appreciate.
Hey! Wonders. Anyway.
You are looking so meticulous. That time, I was checking how Peris she was walking and how she was just maneuvering. I was like, by the way, YouTube has beautiful ladies. At Peris, we approached to each other. This is the industry. I was in work. Now one-on-one.
Yes, I mean, that is what I'm telling you. First, you apologize that you can
Okay, we apologize to each other.
No, I mean, I didn't wrong you. Why should I apologize? It's you apologizing to me.
No, you are team.
No, not my team. I'm talking about Peris.
After watching that clip, I know a lot of people will be asking, is Marwa losing his grip? Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, I do reaction videos, especially to the videos that have been posted in public domain. Like today, I'm going to discuss about why Nyabohanse content creators are no longer afraid to cross camps. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people get updated. Watch my videos from the beginning up to the end without skipping those ads that you see there. Give love to this YouTube channel. Let us like all my videos. Let us support my videos. That being that, let me start with major thing that is happening in Nyabohanse. This week, we have seen a lot of things happening. We saw David Jr. came on camera and called Mike Kizo plastic hater. You're no longer my friend. We have seen Mike Kizo responding back to David Jr. telling him, I'm innocent emotionally. And many people are now beginning to notice a lot of things. The fear is disappearing. Yesterday, Nation One came on camera vigilantly. Nation One has a backbone. He never feared anybody. He spoke his heart, he spoke his mind. So the divisions are waking up. Nation One said about, now we have like almost 6 camps, where we have Marwa's camp, Gintu's camp, JT podcast camp, and David Jr. camp. So that division, and he went ahead and said, if we are not very keen, we'll be having more than 20 camps. He went ahead and said, in the next 5 years, what we will be witnessing in Nyabohanse village will be a downfall of the entire village. What people are now saying that maybe in the next 5 years about Nyabohanse will have grown, now it will be a vice versa. Nyabohanse is coming to a downfall, and the people who are behind this downfall is the subscribers. They're the one who are creating division. So the divisions are waking up, and creators who once could never been seen together publicly are now collaborating openly without caring anymore. And that is what we call the peaceful village, peaceful sustainability. So that is why many people are now saying Marwa is slowly losing his grip in the village. The reason is this. Marwa is the one who brought YouTube to Nyabohanse village, but he never invented YouTube. The likes of Chef Matiko were already YouTubers, but they were not doing it to an extent that actually will be seen like something like generating income to that extent. You know, we have different villages in Kenya. The way the audience that Nyabohanse village has is not the same audience that a lot of Kenyans or a lot of villages within Kenya they have. So now, before people misunderstand me, this is not saying Marwa is weak. No, Marwa is still one of the biggest and most influential creator from the village. So nobody can erase what he built. Nobody can erase his impact. Nobody can undermine Marwa, but influence changes over time. Power shifts, people grow independently, and audiences begin thinking differently. And today, I'm going to analyze it deeply, because the reason why even I said my Kizo needs Marwa, but David Jr. does not need Marwa, because David Jr. has now become independent, and that is the strongest strategy that people need to follow. So let me say this, because what is happening between Gintu and Paris symbolizes something much bigger happening inside Nyabohanse YouTube culture. This is bigger than one video, bigger than reactions, bigger than apologies. This is about people no longer wanting to inherit enemies. And honestly, Nation One already warned us this was coming. Let me talk about the symbolism of Gintu and Paris together. For those who understand what symbol is, years ago, seeing Paris publicly with Gintu could have been almost impossible. Why? Because Peris was deeply associated with Marwa's camp, and at one point subscribers themselves controlled social interactions emotionally. If somebody from Marwa's camp side appeared with Gintu, there will be a backlash immediately. Subscribers will attack, people will unsubscribe, people will accuse creators of betrayal. And this is exactly what Gintu himself brought up in that video. He reminded Peris, there was a time you couldn't even be seen with me. That statement alone is very powerful, because it exposes how emotionally divided the village had become. And at that time, being seen with certain people was treated almost like crossing enemy's line. And honestly, that was unhealthy. That was very very unhealthy, because elders should not be fear interacting publicly because of subscribers' politics. Ladies and gentlemen, even me, when I joined YouTube streets, I was being cautioned that if you go to Gintu you will never go to Marwa. And if you go to Marwa, there is possibility you'll be seen in Gintu's camp and things will be normal. So that is how the perspective is. You can move from Team Marwa to Gintu, but you'll never move from Team Gintu to Marwa. They'll see you as a spy. They'll see you as an enemy of the team. And funny thing about this team, they inherit enemies. Having said that, this reminds me about Gitiriba. Nowadays, we can see Gitiriba with Mayuguno, and there before, that one could never happen. If you're seen with somebody that Marwa himself ostracized, you are being labeled as enemy to him too. So ladies and gentlemen, let me speak about Marwa's influence is changing, and let me address the main issue. Many people now believe Marwa's emotional influence over Nyabohanse creators is weakening slowly, and honestly, you can see signs of it. Look around carefully. Minhawi no longer appears afraid of crossing lines. We could see her when actually after the demise of Mayani, we could see even her interacting with Mayani's widow. We could see that. We could see her interacting with Gintu. We could see her even interacting with me. Cloud Joseph the same does not seem controlled emotionally anymore, because last week I did a video with the Cloud Joseph, yeah, and nobody came on comment section or said something ill about me appearing or featuring Minawi or Cloud Joseph in my video. So now National One openly says, I will not inherit another person's enemy, and that statement alone summarizes the entire shift happening in the village. People are now waking up psychologically. So creators are now realizing you cannot, or you can respect someone without becoming emotionally controlled, and that is the big change happening now. And this is why some people are saying Marwa is losing his grip, not because he has lost fame, not because he has lost influence completely, but because people are no longer automatically obeying emotional camp division. And let me say this, especially to the people who see themselves as very loyal to Marwa. And I'm sorry to say that, you know, funny thing, like when you want to judge somebody's capacity, you go to views and you see how the views, if views are not viewing, you now say that this person is heading to the wrong direction. That is how, if views are not viewing, you are heading to the wrong direction. But if you are getting views, people now say this is the best student of this individual. And this reminds me, there is a boy who came to Marwa and he paid for the master class. How many views does he have? It does not even reach 50. This boy was called Inagi, or was called what? There is somebody, yeah, who came and paid for the master class, and at the end of the day, the views are not viewed. Let me talk about the subscribers created these walls, and I have to speak about these honestly. Subscribers played a huge role in creating these invisible walls. Huge role, because audiences emotionally punish creators who cross camps. One collaboration could trigger outrage. One appearance together could create chaos online. And creator became prisoners of subscribers' emotion, and that was very dangerous, because now all that stopped acting naturally. Everything became politically. Every friendship became suspicion. You couldn't even do what you think you could do best. Every interaction became interrupted emotionally, and National One already exposed these issues. Said there are now many different teams: Team Marwa, Team Gintu, Team JT, Team Devi, and honestly, he was correct. The village became emotionally fragmented. And let me talk about, because I know this is what a lot of people were waiting for Maxwell Lumumba to discuss about this, yeah? Gintu refusing to apologize. And I have to talk about the apology issue. Peris demanded an apology from Gintu because he reacted to her publicly before and even went to police station. Gintu declined and he explained it culturally. He said, in Korean culture or in my own culture, a man does not apologize to a woman easily in certain contexts. Okay, let me just use easily because Gintu never said easily or not easily. Now, this topic is so sensitive, very sensitive, because culture affects how people interact or interpret respect different. So some people agreed with Gintu, others disagreed with Gintu. I agreed with Gintu, but what is important here is this: Gintu stood his ground confidently years ago. Such confidence towards someone associated with Marwa's side may have caused major fallout immediately, but now people are reacting differently. The fear is lower, the emotion is weaker. That is the real symbolism behind that moment. Let me say this: there is a time, look at Marwa. When Marwa accused Makori of stealing his pump, Marwa never apologized to Makori up to date. Then you get now because you reacted to somebody, even though in Makori's issue the real thief of that pump was found, but Marwa never apologized. Now relate this: maybe Maxwell Lumumba has reacted to you before, and now you are coming to tell me that I'm supposed to apologize to you. That is not possible. And I know in my comment section a lot of people will be speaking a lot of issue, but the reality remains: I will not apologize to anybody. This is about culture, even though I don't work on anything about culture. When you apologize to somebody, you'll be seen as very weak. And leaving that aside, I have nothing to apologize, and that is the reality. Choose: you either hate me or you love me. Life has to proceed. If you help me in life, the well and good. If you don't help me with life, that is still life has to proceed, because at the end of the day nobody will come and judge that this. So you choose to be my friend or you don't choose to be my friend. At the end of the day, that is the conclusion I'll be telling us when it comes to apologizing later, because yeah, that is what I wanted to say. Something else, but let me just pause about apology. So what Gintu did was basically, Gintu was very confident, and I really liked the confidence in Gintu because of that. So let me speak about Nation One. So this coming, and let us connect with what Nation One recently said, because honestly, Nation One already predicted the emotional rebellion. He openly rejected inheriting enemies, and many people agreed with him. Because I myself, before even I react to somebody, I usually watch or read the comment section. And because creators are tired of emotional camps, tired of subscribers' pressure, tired of being told, if you speak to this person, you are betraying us. And that mentality eventually exhausts people psychologically, and now creators are beginning to resist it publicly. So that is why Nation One's word became powerful, because he voiced what many people were already thinking privately. So that is why we see different people from different camp and saying enough is enough, let us work as a team, village for villagers. At the end of the day, subscribers come and go. Subscriber may choose to watch your videos, or the more, if somebody tells you that I'm subscribing, somebody else will come up and say I'm subscribing. So that is normal, yeah. And let us read from the past. Nico Buddha, a lot of people said we are going to unsubscribe, but at the end of the day, Nico Buddha lost nothing. Even a lot of people unsubscribed from Marwa and joined Nico Buddha. Look at Mayuguno. Mayuguno, when Marwa himself declared him as an enemy, Mayuguno started by crying to Marwa, please forgive me. Even he went ahead and brought the mom. You know in this YouTube street, things are so funny. You are even sent for parents. So he went and brought parents, and at the end of the day, nothing worked out. Nothing. So he chose to be very independent, only realizing that he has that potential of being alone, and now is alone, doing fantastically well. And that is what we call independency. And maybe for those who think that, or for those who know that maybe when I'm in Marwa's side, I'll be getting views, when at moment you get out of Marwa, you'll not be getting views, yeah? Build your audience, yeah? If maybe today you do a video in Marwa's compound, tomorrow do a video in your compound or walking, so that the audience can see the potentiality in you. Like me, sometimes I do reactions, sometimes I do the normal logs, sometimes. That is why even I have another YouTube channel, that is Vibe with Lumumba. So let us march and subscribe to that YouTube channel, because it has very amazing content, yeah? So let us stay tuned, let us continue. So let me speak about Marwa built the system. Now it is evolving. For those who know about evolution, for those who know, maybe the history tells us that man evolved from ape to human being. So that is what we call evolution. So now let us say something important and very honestly. Marwa helped create modern Nyabohanse YouTube system that cannot be denied. He opened doors, he introduced audiences, he showed people how you can be monetized in YouTube. He gave visibility to many creators. But here is the reality about influence. Once people grow independently, they stop depending emotionally forever. That is natural. So some creators now have their own audience, their own supporters, their own money, their own confidence, and because of that, they no longer fear crossing the old division. And this is why I was telling my Kizo, don't fear. The reason is this. Look at Kizo. You will not see Kizo now and then in Marwa's homestead. He works independently, yeah? Sometimes he just go there to do some A, B, C, D, but most of the times he is independent. So that is how we grow, by ourselves. So he should not even fear risking, or people will be unsubscribing, or the more people unsubscribe, the more people will be joining. So that is what we are witnessing now. The ecosystem that Marwa helped build is now evolving beyond emotional control. So let me speak about people are waking up, and now many subscribers themselves are also changing mentality. So for those who maybe like this individual, they now see, even let me give now a real example, yeah? The reason why even we have these camp and this camp is this. There are some people who maybe trust, let me just use Marwa and Gintu. There are some people who were in Marwa's camp. So when Marwa and Gintu became, I don't know, enemy, let me just use the name enemy, of which I know they are not enemy. If they meet, they greet each other. You just say, even you wave, and if that person does not wave back to you, you say, amen, enough is enough. Even for me, I know some people, even if I do for them these, they can't even return their hand these. I know them. But there is no need even I say them to on the camera, because at the end of the day, they're not helping me get life. Yeah, your own life will help you, and that's the reality. So I was saying before, okay, when Gintu got out of Marwa, a lot of subscribers, maybe they used to like Gintu, so Gintu went with some subscribers. So when they see what Gintu was saying was the reality, and that is why they changed they changed their team from this team to that. So most of us, when we were joining these YouTube street, we were just gambling. Yeah, let me go this or this way, which one, or we just we toss. Yeah, we actually toss something. Yeah, we just take a coin, then we toss, then we see where the head will be facing, there where I'll be going, where the tail will be facing, there I'm not going to that side. So some of us tossed, and you know, like me, I used to see pattern. I said, if you go to Marwa today, you will get views. If you do a video by yourself, maybe in 1 week, no views. And the one thing that gave me an encouragement, the people, even if I never got a lot of subscribers, maybe from Gintu's camp, yeah, but at the end of the day, when I look in my comment section, I used to see, these people who I got from Gintu's camp are the one who are commenting in my comment section. Why can I not stand still to this camp? And that is how I chose my camp. Yeah, that is how I became. Somebody was trying to call me. I don't know if it will reflect here. I think there is a parcel of mine is being sent somewhere. I don't know if it will be disturbing my screen, but in case if he calls again back, I might be answering the call because it's a matter of urgency. So people are now becoming tired of endless village wars. We have seen drama after drama. Nyabohanse has become a very dramatic village. It is known all over the world. So tired of inherited enemies, tired of emotional manipulation, tired of creators talking about haters, jealousy, betrayal, and audience now want authenticity, freedom, natural interaction, not emotional prison system. And that is why videos like Gintu, with his calling again, yeah, that is why videos like Gintu and Peris together become symbolic. Let me just answer this call, then I get back. So I was telling us that when we see Gintu and Peris together, that shows, actually that will be the benefit of the village, not individualism or what, because they represent broken walls. They represent, we can talk despite our history. That is powerful psychologically. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Let me warn something seriously. If creators continue dividing audiences emotionally, the village community may become permanently fragmented, because constant team politics destroy trust. Creators stop collaborating naturally. People stop helping each other sincerely. So everything becomes suspicion, and eventually the audience itself becomes toxic. That is why Nation One's warning about the future of Nyabohanse is important, because if the current direction continues, the village may become the battlefield of camps instead of a supportive creator community. I told us, when Mike Hizo and David Jr., I told us that if this issue won't be resolved, we will even see people analyzing each other. I meant that, yeah. And now what we saw, when we saw Nation One coming out vigilantly, that tells us where Nation One was seated, he was not at peace. And let me say this, at the end of the day, the biggest message from Gintu and Paris video is simple. People are no longer afraid. That is the real story. Years ago, the video will have caused chaos immediately, but today, people are saying everybody should live freely. This shows psychological change inside the village, and honestly, no creator can permanently control adults' relationship forever. Not Marwa, not David Jr., not anybody, because eventually people begin thinking independently, and maybe that is exactly what we are witnessing with these. No, these, I'll call this person another time. Yeah, so this is what we are now witnessing. So maybe when we awake up, or a slow awakening from emotional calms, let me know your thoughts in comment section. Do you think Marwa is truly losing his grip on the village, or is Nyabohanse simply evolving naturally beyond all division? Because honestly, something major is changing right front of our eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, let us continue supporting this YouTube channel. Let us be united. Let us enhance a very peaceful ecosystem. Let us support my project. Let us support me. Let us support each other equally. That is the call of action I can tell us. Let us go and subscribe to Vibe with Lumumba. Having said that, I'll be leaving, then I do some other thing because I can see somebody's calling me. That's enough for today. Let us meet some other time. Goodbye.